Master your emotions and you will master your results. It is as simple as that. Earlier this week, we ran our weekly confidence and clarity call with our clients, and that topic that we spoke about was emotional intelligence. And I thought it would be helpful to come on here and talk to you about the exact same thing. If you don't know who I am, my name is Rachel and I run a women's transformation program called Level Up. I am the woman that creates confident women. In this video, we are going to chat through all things emotional intelligence. Now, you've probably heard of this phrase, you've heard of these words, but I guarantee that so many of you have no idea what it actually means, or you probably class yourself as emotionally intelligent, but you more than likely do the things that would say otherwise. So on our weekly confidence and clarity call, we cover different topics every single week. And as I said, Monday just gone, the topic was emotional intelligence. Now, I think we are all quick to assume that we are very emotionally intelligent. However, when we break it down, we very quickly realise that we're not, and then we soon realise that we don't actually have the results that we want, and the two are linked. And of course, they all link back to confidence. So if you are emotionally intelligent, you are aware of your emotions, you are able to regulate your emotions, you are able to act despite your emotions, you are able to empathize with others but not absorb their energy. You are switched on, right? You're aware of what's going on, and that is the first thing that most women aren't, which is aware. Like having self-awareness. Self-awareness is actually a really hard thing, a really uncomfortable thing, because it requires you to hold your hands up when you do something wrong. It requires you to be really honest with yourself and be really honest with other people. Think back to a time where you've had an argument with your partner or family member or boss or whoever it is, and in that argument, you have blurted everything out, the first thing that has come to your head, and it's not until a few hours after that you've gone, I probably shouldn't have said that. It shows that you weren't aware in the situation. It shows that you are lacking self-awareness. If you're not able to control how you react, that shows a lack of self-awareness. Now, if you're not able to control how you react, then how can you control how you react to something when it comes to your goals? I.e., you've had a bad day, you've argued with your boss. If you can't control how you react to that, the chances are you're not going to get yourself to the gym, which comes into the motivation side of it. Being able to act despite how you're feeling. If you're fighting with your partner, right? Or, in fact, forget the fight. If you come home and both of you are like, I had a hard day, I can't be bothered to cook, let's order a takeaway, you're lacking emotional intelligence because you're not aware of how you're feeling, and you're also not acting despite the lack of relevant emotion that you need. You're choosing the easy option because you're not aware of actually how you're feeling. And because you lack that self-awareness and that motivation and emotional intelligence, you don't make the decisions that are going to support your goals. Another key part is self-regulation. We all get pissed off, right? We all get annoyed about stuff. That is totally normal. But in that moment, do you have the ability to pause and think? Most women are far too quick to jump the gun and react. Most women don't like pauses. Most women feel really uncomfortable when someone else pauses because they lack emotional intelligence. You need to be able to pause and control your thoughts and bring yourself back down to normal, quote unquote, before you react. Because if you don't, you're going to react however you are feeling, and that's not going to be the best choice that's going to serve you. Going back to the example where you and your partner get home and you are exhausted. If you're exhausted, you order the takeaway, you eat the takeaway, and then you don't hit your goals. Simple as that. Because again, you've not been able to self-regulate. You've not been able to stop yourself in the moment. And all of these parts of emotional intelligence all link together. But some people are going to thrive on more things than others. Another part is empathy. How able are you to empathize with someone else without absorbing their energy? If you are a leader, if you are high up in your job, if you're responsible for other individuals, you have to be so good at empathizing without absorbing energy. It's something that I pride myself on. I am so good at being extremely empathetic and giving my clients a kick up the arse when they need it, but I'm very good at being empathetic without absorbing their energy. I'm good at doing it on social media, chatting to people, because look, if I was not able to do that, I would be so drained. I'd be taking on the weight of the world, everyone's problems, and that would affect me. And then that would affect how I would act and what I would choose to do for my results. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't end up doing a lot, which would then mean I wouldn't get results, I wouldn't feel great, and then I wouldn't be able to be a leader. I wouldn't be able to do my job because no one's going to want a coach that doesn't look after themselves. No one wants a leader that doesn't look after themselves. No one wants a boss that doesn't look after themselves. Emotional intelligence is so key. So key. And it needs to be something that you work on. Far too many high achieving women are so focused on what's the best meal plan? What training plan should I be doing? I'm telling you now, if you don't get the other stuff taken care of first, you are going to struggle so much when it comes to your food, your training, your steps, all of that jazz, right? Because look, everyone's got access to Google, everyone's got access to YouTube. You're watching this right now. You can type what is the best meal plan and training plan to achieve X, Y, and Z. You will do it for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. You'll get few results and you will go back to your old way of living because you have not dealt with the important things, i.e., for example, one of those things being your emotional intelligence. You cannot improve your emotional intelligence through a food plan. You can't improve it through a PT session in the gym. Emotional intelligence comes down to actual training that is designed to improve the emotional intelligence. It comes down to having the right systems in place that are designed to improve the emotional intelligence. It doesn't come down to what you find on Google, and you need to remember that. So when it comes back to confidence and emotional intelligence, if you lack emotional intelligence, as I said, you're not going to do what you need to do. If you don't do what you need to do, you're going to lose self-trust. When you lose self-trust, you don't have any confidence, and therefore you don't get any results. All of these so-called little things, albeit very big things, intertwine and link together. Confidence is the ability to do what you need to do, even when the feeling of doing it has long gone. Confidence is the ability to show up for yourself. Being confident means you're a woman of your word. It doesn't mean you love what you see in the mirror, but look, here's the best part, right? If you are a woman of your word, if you do what you say you are going to do, your body will change as a byproduct. Women are so focused on the food and the training that they forget the most important part, the identity shift, the confidence, the emotional intelligence. It is so much more than what food you put in your body and what training you do. And I'm not saying those things don't matter, because obviously they do, but the other side is way, way, way more important, because if you take care of that, the other stuff falls into place, and it's literally as simple as that. I hope this episode's been useful. I hope it's made you just stop and think and pause, as we need to if we're emotionally intelligent. I share a lot more like this over on my weekly email list. I'll pop a link below this video, pop your details in, you'll be next on the list, and I'll be sharing basically more of an insight into like who I actually am, my thoughts, my feelings about things, all mindset stuff, a bit of my life, everything is on there. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.